It was all so perfect. 3 generations under one roof.
We can be like a secret club.
But divorce changed our lives and tore us apart.
Why are you always undoing everything I try to teach my child?
Mom, Grandpa didn't do anything.
I never knew there were laws against seeing your own granddaughter.
You should have called me. You had no right taking her anywhere.
If I'm guilty of anything, I'm guilty of love.
Robert Young stars with Drew Barrymore. Conspiracy of Love, next Sunday.
Thursday.
One of us is working for the cops.
I'm the guy that's going to take the fall.
What does he do exactly?
Notes from the underworld.
He's been grabbed.
Wise guy. Then.
You killed Peter Hollister?
Yes.
She's lying.
What prompted you to hit him?
She killed Peter to protect me.
Get hooked on Knots. It all starts Thursday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Amish country. A highway planned through the heart of their land could threaten their traditional way of life. The story tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
This is CBS.
I'm Daryl Savage, live in Detroit, where baseball fans are focused in on the Twins in Tiger Stadium. I'll have the story coming up on the 10 p.m. report.
Also, we'll find out if the Twins are a step closer to the World Series.
We'll take you behind the scenes of the big Twin Cities Marathon, which included more than 7,000 runners from all across the country.
On the eve of Canterbury Downs' last race of the season, the money trouble continues.
And Brooklyn Park police are still holding the husband of a woman killed in a house fire yesterday. We'll have that story. And the story of the battered Minnesota Vikings still suffering, even as talks break down to bring the regular players back to the field. Those stories and more coming up on the 10 p.m. report.
The old Dutch snack in the windmill pack. The taste just keeps you coming back. Crunch a snack made the old Dutch way. Find the flavor that you crave today. Try them all and you're sure to say it's the old Dutch snack in the windmill pack. The taste just keeps you coming back to the old Dutch snack in the windmill pack.
With low back pain, walking can be agony, where every step shoots pain up here. You know what helps? New Back Guard.
Back Guard's a shoe insert for low back pain. Only Back Guard has the shock trapper module made with shock shield material used in space technology. Watch how it helps absorb shock upon impact to reduce the shock to your back.
Amazing. Something down here can help up here.
New Back Guard from Dr. Scholl's. Absorb shock all day to help keep back pain away.
There's a special bond between children and their teacher. For nearly 9 months each year, it's a relationship of testing, learning, and growing. But just as important is the communication between parent and teacher. I'm Colleen Needles. Find out how to make the most of your next parent-teacher conference Tuesday on the 10 p.m. report.
It's time to replace your car's muffler. Wednesday, find out where you'll get the best installation. 2 special cover stories beginning Tuesday on the 10 p.m. report.
You are watching WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul. All today's news with Mike Walcher, Debbie Ely. Dr. Walt Lyons has weather. Tom Hanneman has sports. And now, this is the 10 p.m. report.
The Twins may be far from home in a pit known as Tiger Stadium in Detroit, but fans all across our Twin Cities continue to cheer for Herbie, Kirby, the G-Man, and TK. At Champs Bar in Richfield, an affliction known as Twins fever shows no sign of breaking this Sunday night. Good evening, everyone. The Minnesota Twins are not enjoying their dome field advantage tonight, but they are proving to be very tough competitors indeed.
Once again, the Detroit Tigers jumped off to an early lead in Tiger Stadium, but our Twins managed to come back, and now in the 8th inning, it is 4-3 with the Twins leading. Daryl Savage is standing by live in Detroit with more on the mood of Game 4. Daryl?
Debbie, we were about a block away, standing across the street from Tiger Stadium. You can see it behind us, but we're still close enough to hear the roar of every pitch, and those Tiger fans are loud right now. The story here actually is the temperature. It's great football weather, but it's a little cool for baseball. It's in the high 30s, low 40s now, but still, that's a little bit warmer than the forecasters had predicted. But the baseball fans here aren't complaining, because after last night's victory, Tiger fans are hoping that they will get to the World Series, and they hope that last night's victory will spur them on. Rejuvenated Detroit fans poured into Tiger Stadium snarling. Today's newspapers said they were being shown up by the Minnesota fans, and Tiger rooters wanted to get even.
I think you have good fans in Minneapolis. They don't know much about baseball, but you have good fans.
It seemed like everyone brought their own set of insults. Police made sure they didn't bring anything else by searching all the ticket holders as they entered. There were fewer empty seats than yesterday. The once overconfident fans now know they're in for a fight, and they have nothing but respect for the Twins players.
Good hitting team. Well, I think they got a good team. They can do it.
A powerful, just an overpowering team that can beat you to the bat.
In the section with the Twins' wives, undercover security was on the lookout. Angry Detroit fans are getting tired of the sound of success. The whistles and the Homer hankies were back again in full force tonight. The fans who've come here, there's about 100, I'd say, who've come from the Twin Cities or from other areas to come support the Twins. They're hoping to see something that the Twins haven't done in 22 years, and that's to get back to the World Series. Of course, right now, they're a game away from doing that if they can win tonight, but there's still another couple of innings. Now, Debbie and Mike, we should point out that there's something very interesting going on behind us right now. A lot of the Tiger fans are leaving. We noticed that yesterday, too, but the Twins had a lead there, and it didn't seem like the Tigers were going to come back. They did. You figure that maybe the Tiger fans tonight will learn a lesson and stay till the last couple of innings, or stay till the end, but they're not. They seem to be leaving now. It's getting colder here, and the Twins fans say they're going to stay and they're going to put up with it again tomorrow because it's worth it.
All right, Daryl. Thank you very much.
On the field in Detroit, the Twins and Tigers are clawing their way to the end of a wildly exciting game 4. Tony Parker has the latest now from our Sports Center. Tony?
Well, you got the score right. It's 4-3 Twins in the top of the 8th inning. Twins have a runner on third now with 2 outs. The Twins have gotten solo home runs from Kirby Puckett and Greg Gagne. Gagne also doubled and scored on the pinch hit double by Gene Larkin in the 6th, which drove Detroit starter Frank Tanana from the mound. Now, that made the score 4-2 Twins after 5.5. Petrie relieved Tanana. In the bottom of the 6th, Twins starter Frank Viola tired. Keith Atherton came on in relief and gave up a run, bringing Berenguer in. Catcher Tim Laudner then made a great play. Picked off Darrell Evans off third base for the 2nd out. Berenguer then got Jim Morrison to fly out to blunt the rally. Now, it's all bad news for Viking fans. Now, it wasn't the real Vikings playing the real Bears in Chicago today, but it was a familiar scene. The substitute monsters of the Midway mugging the Viking substitute quarterback, Tony Adams. The Bears had 9 quarterback sacks today and took an easy decision by the final score of 27-7 in Soldier Field, which was host to about 32,000 Chicago fans. Now, the news wasn't any better at the negotiating table for the Vikings. Talks appear to have broken down, and no new time has been set to get back at the bargaining table. Now, if the owners hold to their pledge that strike games will count, the standings then show the Vikings at 2-2 and the Bears now at 4-0, so the Vikings will be hurt. Wednesday is the deadline for players to return to their teams if they want their checks next Sunday. The Vikings tell us they will stay out. The entire team will. Just at an update, it's 5-3 Twins in the 8th inning over the Tigers.
All right, way to stay on top of it. Thank you very much, Tony. While the Twins and Vikings played on fields away from home today, hundreds of athletes came here. They took part in the 6th annual Twin Cities Marathon. Mike Strand tells us the race set several new records, including the coldest one with a temperature of 24 degrees.
They're off.
The race is on.
Right around race from 6,000.
A human tide of nearly 7,000 runners flooded the streets of downtown Minneapolis this morning, all competing in a race where winning is simply finishing. By race time, the temperature had climbed only 6 degrees and remained below freezing. But for the runners, it was offset by a warm public reception. Throughout the 26-mile, 385-yard course, runners were encouraged with music and cheers. 250,000 spectators lined the streets and parkways, pushing friends and family members in pursuit of dreams and maybe part of a $200,000 purse.
It's a lot of fun. I can't imagine doing it myself. I think I'm in awe of them all.
Right. I think it's great. I saw somebody I didn't expect to see, who I went to high school with, and so it's really been fun.
At 20 miles, where most runners hit the wall of physical exhaustion, volunteers waited with thousands of cups of water and a homecoming-like atmosphere with music, pom-poms, and, well, some humorous but hairy high fives. And finally, in the end, there were tears and triumph, agony and exhaustion, but overall, a good race.
Despite the chilly temperatures early on, the picture-perfect day resulted in personal records for many runners, most of whom told us they had nothing but praise for this year's race.
This is my 4th marathon this year. So I'm dead after this, but yeah, I'm very pleased today. Couldn't be happier.
Qualified for Boston, so that's what I came for, so. But didn't do as well as I'd hoped.
You know, if I run another marathon, I'd like to run up here. Good time of year, well organized. Really enjoyed it.
Mike Strand, WCCO Television News, the Twin Cities.
And the winners of the race, Marty Freilich of Colorado Springs took the men's division, Sylvie Bernet of France the women's title. Bernet set a new course record, and we'll have a complete wrap-up of that race after the 10 p.m. report.
Horse racing officials say that a difficult season casts doubt on the future of the sport in this state. Canterbury Downs fan attendance and betting handles are down this year. Track officials blame the decline on a poor purse structure, and they see they need tax relief to improve competition.
There's total free agency in horse racing. The horsemen are free to go wherever they want, whenever they want, and understandably they go where the purse structure is higher.
Racing commissioners say horse racing deserves the same treatment given other troubled industries.
The fact that Canterbury Downs and its auxiliary industries provide 6,000 new jobs in this state, it deserves every kind of break, every kind of support that the Chopsticks factory and Hibbing and other things have had.
There is one bright spot. Officials say that per capita wagering is up significantly from the 1985 season. A lion being walked through a flea market in Houston suddenly mauled an 8-year-old girl today. The child suffered a cracked skull and other injuries. The lion grabbed her head in its jaws. The girl is in critical condition after 6 hours of surgery. The lion was shot twice by a security guard and later destroyed. Tests are being run to determine whether the animal had rabies. The lion belonged to a man who operated a booth at the flea market. The owner was walking the lion through the market on a chain when the attack occurred. Charges are pending against the owner.
50,000 gays marched through the streets of Washington demanding more money for AIDS research and treatment. The march was led by AIDS patients in wheelchairs and wound past the Capitol and the White House. Gay activists carried balloons, signs, and banners urging federal laws to protect homosexuals. Many also took some measure of credit for the expected defeat of Supreme Court nominee Robert Bork. Coming up next, 14 Americans killed in a plane crash a long way from home.
While authorities in suburban Brooklyn Park continue the investigation into a fire which left 2 people dead. Stay with us.
You do not have to spend much time on a country road before you become familiar with the primary law of 2-lane driving. How fast your car may go is important, but not nearly as important as how fast it goes around somebody else's. Before you buy another car, be sure you see the Sterling.
Of all the words you're about to see, one is key. Because in the fabulous Wix furniture, everything on sale, the key word is everything. Every item is on sale at savings of 10 to 50%. Every bedroom, every dining room, every sofa, every chair, every table, every lamp, and no payments or finance charges till February 1988 with a Wix charge.
Wix, surprisingly Wix.
Save thousands. Spicklers have done it again. Factory volume purchase discounts on 88s. Save many thousands on every size and price range. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, but hurry in for best selection. With only up to 100 new 88s in stock, Spicklers are already setting new monthly sales records. Plus, a special purchase of 22 to 34-foot 87 travel trailers. Regularly 14 to 26,000 are now only 8 to 16,000. Spicklers, Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about our practically free checking.
Excuse me, but First Minnesota money market checking is free with the low minimum balance. Plus, you're in high rates.
Well, there's no interest on ours, actually.
And you get a credit card with no annual fee.
Oh, really?
Free cash machine use.
We have free parking.
Free checks, too. And you can bank at over 50 offices.
What's your bank again?
First Minnesota, what's yours?
First Minnesota, the new bank.
Burma Airways airliner crashed, killing all 49 people on board, including 14 Americans. The crash came a day after diplomatic sources reported increased protection of the U.S. Embassy in the capital of Rangoon. That stemmed from terrorist threats. The twin-engine plane crashed and burst into flames 280 miles north of Rangoon. It was the second fatal crash of a Burma Airways plane in the past 4 months.
Tonight, Brooklyn Park police are still holding a man for murder following a house fire that killed the man's wife and an acquaintance. The Hennepin County medical examiner says that 38-year-old Sharon Sangren and 36-year-old Scott Judge died of smoke inhalation. Sangren's husband and another man escaped the fire, which apparently was set. Terry Sater reports.
The question is, how did Sharon Sangren's Brooklyn Park home start on fire? If it was arson, who did it and why? Family and friends of Sangren say her husband had beaten her in the past. Tom Bauer is the suspect's attorney.
If everyone who argued with their wife was a suspect in later murder, we'd have to build a lot more jails in this state. He says that he's shocked and dismayed that his wife's dead. He's in shock. He's grieving at this time, and he's bewildered by everything that's going on. He says he didn't do it.
There was a small party at Sangren's home early yesterday morning. A friend of Sangren's, Bonnie Fisher, was there up until an hour before the flames ignited and says police have the wrong man.
I don't think he did it. I really don't. When I left, Sharon was up, and this Scott was up, and Sharon's husband was in bed.
Fisher says the other fire victim, Scott Judge, had made passes at Sharon Sangren that night, and she had rejected his advances.
In the middle of the night, he was talking about suicide and stuff.
But Scott Judge's family says he never talked about suicide. Police are saying very little about what evidence they have.
Is it possible that somebody else set the fire instead of the man that you have in custody?
I would imagine that possibility always exists, but again, the careful, thorough investigation is going to help resolve that question.
Police say they will charge the suspect with murder on Tuesday, but investigators still aren't saying what they think the suspect's motive was for killing Sangren and Judge. Terry Sater, WCCO Television News, Brooklyn Park.
Friends of Sharon Sangren say she had several kerosene lanterns in her home. Police are testing samples from the house to see what caused the fire. Several hundred people opened their hearts and their pocketbooks this afternoon to help a Coon Rapids girl. 7-month-old Shayna Larson suffers from severe combined immune deficiency, or SCIDS. She needs a bone marrow transplant, and that's where these folks came in. They attended a fundraising dinner at a Coon Rapids church to help raise that money, about $200,000 worth. If you'd like to help, you're encouraged to send contributions in Shayna Larson's name to the Coon Rapids Evangelical Free Church.
The earthquakes and aftershocks in California caused $125 million in property damage. And today, a new center opened to help folks get disaster relief. The center is located in suburban Whittier near Los Angeles, scene of some of the worst destruction from the quakes. The center has a staff of counselors who are working with individual families that have lost their homes or businesses. While that goes on, the wrecking ball is clearing severely damaged buildings throughout the Los Angeles area. The landscape of southern England is marked by counties named Kent, Sussex, and Wessex. But this Sunday night, it's also marked by floodwaters brought on by torrential rainfalls. Many local streets and highways have been blocked, and even more rain is predicted for that normally beautiful part of England.
Shades of July 23rd,
isn't it, though? Yes. Reminiscent.
You know about that, yes. Well, of course, if it happened tonight, it would freeze over there. But to drag out the old joke, tonight's going to be chilly tonight and not so hot tamale. Ooh, wasn't that awful?
With a bank, you have your choice of checking or savings. With a relationship at First Banks, you have your choice of checking, savings, mutual funds, tax-deferred annuities, government securities, the services of a complete discount brokerage, and someone to help you make the right choices. Why settle for a bank when you can have a banking relationship?
What store would cut prices on their best-selling items? Levitt's has, right now during their best-seller sale. But hurry, prices this low can't last long.
From Iowa to Zenith, big-name brands at rock-bottom prices. Every top brand is on sale this week at Best Buy Superstores. Name brand stereos and televisions, name brand appliances and cameras. Like Maxell 90-minute audio tape for just 79 cents. The name brand sale from the name that means lowest price, Best Buy.
Chicken bundles, don't you just love?
Introducing new chicken bundles from Burger King. They're like nothing you ever loved before. You get 3 mini-sized sandwiches made from real white meat chicken, cooked in pure vegetable oil.
Chicken bundles,
and you get a big, juicy taste. But hurry, they're only here for a short time. New chicken bundles, only at Burger King. The best food for fast times.
This was one of those nice days to get out and get the lawn furniture in and rake the yard and all of those fun things.
And break the ice off the bird bath. There was actually ice on area lakes this morning.
Really?
First time this season. Went away pretty quickly. We started out with a record low, but at least it was dry. It was certainly cold enough to snow, but it didn't affect the entire portion of the country as dry as can be. The Twins don't have to be worried about being rained out in Detroit. They could have been snowed out if they were playing in New England, though. Up to 4 inches of snow in Montpelier, Vermont, and heavy rains down the coast. Very heavy rains in Florida. In fact, we ought to take a little closer look at this. It's suspicious. Key West radar shows something that looks like it's winding up, and yep, it is about to become a hurricane. Taking a look on the satellite after what has been a completely dull tropical storm season. It was born in the waters north of Nicaragua. It's been moving north through the western portion of Cuba. There it is. It is now tropical storm, but very shortly will become Hurricane Floyd. Still not used to some of these names. It's 240 miles southwest of Key West. It's moving north at 15 miles an hour, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds right now. I'd say a very good chance that it's going to hook to the northeast and hit the southwestern Florida coastline someplace between Tampa and Fort Myers tomorrow. Today, we had beautiful weather throughout the entire region, but beautifully cool. Canadian high pressure has come roaring out of Canada and gave quite a chilly snap. It was 7 out of West Yellowstone, but here out on the prairies, we had a lot of record low temperatures. How low was it? Well, 16 there at St. Cloud and also at Waterloo. Go a little further south, they had 27 at Kansas City, 28 at Omaha, 18 out at Rapid City, 21 at Green Bay, more than 30 record lows for this entire region. And that certainly includes ourselves. And during the day, we actually had a fair amount of sunshine coming through, a little bit of high cirrus clouds. You notice on this heat picture, the ground appears dark, but as the sun sets, you can see the ground suddenly starts to appear lighter and lighter and lighter as it's cooling down. It's going to be another chilly night tonight, but not as chilly as last night. Highs today, warm air really made a good attempt at coming in. We had some 60s in northwestern Minnesota, but only 30s under the snow in New York State and Vermont. But the cooler air is gradually retreating off to the east, and we're going to start improving. The old record for this date was 27 back in 1919. We did 23 this morning. Got all the way up to 55 this afternoon, though. Good rebound. No precipitation at all, and the sun will come up tomorrow morning at 7:25 on what will be a pretty nice day because we're going to have a front moving through, a warm one, but heavy rains in Southern California due to Tropical Storm Ramon, and even heavier rains and near hurricane winds in southwestern Florida due to Floyd. And tomorrow, the cool air moves to the northeast. The warm air moves towards us, although slowly. We're not going to have a major warm-up tomorrow, but Tuesday looks like you might not need the jacket at all. It's a pleasant evening out there, 9 degrees warmer than it was last night at this time. It is clear and 40. 26 the dew point, 57 is the humidity. Wind south at 8, 30.13 and falling is the barometer. Tonight, then, it's just going to be clear. Few high cirrus clouds around from time to time, and it'll be about 30 degrees with light southwest to northwest winds. For Monday, mostly sunny, 56, northwest winds 5 to 15. Monday night, partly cloudy, warmer, only 37, and then Tuesday, partly sunny, breezy, well up to about 68 degrees. And the week ahead looks like it's going to be pleasant in terms of precipitation, but it'll cool down a little bit towards the weekend as some reinforcing cool air comes in. And tomorrow they'll have some pretty heavy weather down in southwestern Florida. First significant tropical storm of the year to strike the mainland U.S.
Well, I know you live in a condominium and you don't have to worry about raking leaves, but elsewhere around the Twin Cities, there were folks raking leaves this Sunday afternoon. And the city of Minneapolis wants those leaves, not for burial in landfills, but for composting. A new leaf collection program begins tomorrow and runs through mid-November. Leaves should be bagged and placed near garbage cans on alley routes, and on non-alley routes, the bags should be placed on the curbside. The city hopes to save money by composting the leaf and save some space in the landfills.
Good cause there. All right, well, the Twins doing pretty well, but Vikings, who knows about
That's
them?
the little bit of good news.
Yeah.
Top of the ninth. We're in the lead. The bad news, of course, is what happened in Chicago. We'll talk about all of it in just a minute. Don't go away.
Imagine if they made omelets in heaven. In heaven, you could have a pizza omelet, a seafood omelet, or a spinach and mushroom omelet. And you'd get your choice of a fresh-baked muffin or pancakes. You don't have to go to heaven to get a meal this good. Just go to Perkins. Tummy heaven.
It's time to take a preview look
And you've got a premier seat waiting.
at your Toyota dealer for all the new 88s.
From where I sit, they're better than ever.
Like the new Corolla, Toyota's all-time bestseller has 3 hot new styles with new power, new performance.
Or the Tercel, the lowest priced Toyota, is better than ever in 88. This critic says rave reviews.
All new excitement, all new special premier deals.
It all starts at your Toyota dealer, where previews only happen once a year.
With my temporary job as bookkeeper, I can be a full-time mom.
With my temporary job as systems analyst, I make money while I look for a permanent job.
As a temporary accountant, I do what I want full-time. I work or I play. Who makes it possible? Accountants.
If you're an experienced accountant, bookkeeper, or data processor, and would like to work only when you want to, call accountants.
Call office nearest you.
There's a special bond between children and their teacher. For nearly 9 months each year, it's a relationship of testing, learning, and growing. But just as important is the communication between parent and teacher. I'm Colleen Needles. Find out how to make the most of your next parent-teacher conference Tuesday on the 10 p.m. report.
It's time to replace your car's muffler. Wednesday, find out where you'll get the best installation. 2 special cover stories beginning Tuesday on the 10 p.m. report.
Our sources here tell us that there's 1 man on first, ninth inning, top of the ninth, 2 outs, and it's still the Twins leading, right?
You got a little person telling you that right in your little ear. Huh? Okay. At any rate, the Twins are doing their very best to shake the label as losers on the road in Game 4 of the American League Playoff Series tonight in Detroit. As Debbie just told us, it's the Twins 5, the Tigers 3, top of the ninth, 2 out for the Twins. Frank Viola started, was taken out in the 6th. Puckett and Gagne have homered. Gaetti, Larkin, Lombardozzi have knocked in runs for the Twins. Frank Tanana started for the Tigers until the 6th inning. He was relieved by Dan Petrie, who's still in there. Another great game in this series. The Twins could be 1 game away from the World Series. The American League Championship Series will continue tomorrow afternoon in Detroit. The first pitch at 2:07, and we probably won't know the starters until we know the results of tonight's game. Now, the National League playoffs are going back to St. Louis, with the Giants leading there 3-2. The Giants rallied for their 2nd straight win, 6-3, to take a 1-game lead. The Cardinals held on and rallied with Rick Russell, a lead that was short-lived, though. Russell boosts the throw at first base, allowing Terry Pendleton to score from third. That gave the Cardinals a 3-2 lead in the 4th. From there on out, it was time to ball with the Cardinals. Debris flying all over Candlestick Park. Jose Uribe opened it up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Uribe lined a single to right that scored 2 Giants. San Francisco scored 4 in the inning, and that was more than they would need. Joe Price was brilliant in relief. Price pitched 5 scoreless innings, allowed just 1 hit and struck out 6. The Giants are now just 1 win from the World Series.
We couldn't afford to go in there down a game, and they've got a team built for their stadium, and it makes it a little easier. Hopefully we can end this thing Tuesday night.
Okay, striking Chicago Bears went to work today, outside of Soldier Field, where the Bears and Vikings replacement squads played. The Bears held a brief rally, then turned their picket line into an autograph line, a very long autograph line. The Bears asked their supporters not to harass the fans who wanted to get inside. As a result, 32,000 people kind of half-filled Soldier Field. Did they get their money's worth? Well, who knows? They did see the replacement Bears beat the Vikings 27-7. Mike Hohensee has been a journeyman quarterback since leaving the U of M. He hooked up with Glenn Kozlowski there for an 11-yard touchdown. The word is that Honesy may stay on with the Bears as the number 3 quarterback when and if the strike ends. 9 sacks registered by the Chicago defense today. Jim Althoff roughs up Tony Adams there. The Vikings had just 151 yards worth of total offense. The only highlight came is when Adams hit James Brim for an 11-yard scoring strike. Now, Brim has been a bright spot for the past couple of weeks. Bruce McKay put it away for the Bears, though. As we take a look, he intercepted the Larry Miller pass and went 21 yards for an easy touchdown. The Bears remain unbeaten. The Vikings strike squad has turned to a 2-0 record into a record of 2-2.
It started as far as selecting our talent for our replacement team, and I just think you don't have to be a genius to look out there in the field and see that they've got better players across the board, almost at every position than we have.
Well, Jerry, looks like he could use some help, but is there help on the horizon? Well, some of our sources say that some of the Vikings may cross the picket line before Wednesday's deadline to get a check next Sunday. However, assistant player rep Greg Colvin says the squad will remain united, possibly for a long time to come. After all, those talks broke off again today in Washington. Well, the circus moved from the bargaining table to the gridiron today. And as we see, a Kansas City fumble here turns into a 52-yard touchdown play for the Miami Dolphins. Miami breezed to a 42-0 victory in that one. In the Meadowlands today, the defending Super Bowl champions fell to 0-4. And if we had the tape going, we would see a touchdown here of 65 yards. Attendance there just 8,600. The final score was 38-12 Washington. Now, amidst 40,000 boos today, Danny White handed off to a fellow strikebreaker, Tony Dorsett. And the Cowboys went on to win it 41-22 in Texas Stadium. And New England wound up with a winner today over Buffalo with a score of 14-7. Let's take a look now at the other scores in the National Football League. Detroit beat Green Bay 19-6 in overtime. It was San Diego beating Tampa Bay 17-13. St. Louis got by New Orleans today. San Francisco beat Atlanta. It was the Rams topping Pittsburgh by 10. Houston beat Cleveland by 5. Indianapolis sneaked by the Jets. And Cincinnati beat Seattle by the score of 17-10. Well, it was a beautiful Sunday morning to stay under a warm blanket, wasn't it? However, about 7,000 runners braved the chilly 24 degrees to run the 6th annual Twin Cities Marathon. Now, host runners were dressed for comfort and not for the speed, which they started out in the 26-mile jaunt at 8 this morning from downtown Minneapolis. The first racer to reach the finish line at the state capitol was Marty Freilich. The 29-year-old from Colorado Springs ran a 2:10:59. Meanwhile, a record was set in the women's division. It's Sylvain Bornet of France who was magnifique. The 27-year-old covered 26 miles in 2:30:11, about 2.5 minutes better than the old mark. Now, more highlights and features coming up in just a few minutes on our Twin Cities Marathon special with Tom Hanneman and Pat Miles.
All right, let's hope the Twins can hang on. Then only one more game to win after
5-3, the bottom of the ninth, right?
All right, very good. Thank you, Tony.
And coming up, the pizza that nobody would deliver.
And there's a good reason for that. It's 100 feet across. It is big enough for a world's record. Stay with us.
Our last blast sale is on at Towsley Subaru. We have so much good news, we need all this commercial.
Now, wait a minute. We have just as much good news here at Towsley Ford.
We've made a special purchase of 150 Subarus, 100 four-wheel drives, wagons, hatchbacks, sedans, all real Minnesota cars with cash back up to $1,500.
Yes, but here at Towsley...
The prices are so low. You can buy a brand new 87 four-wheel drive Subaru for only $69.95. I repeat, $69.95. But only during this last blast sale while they last. Towsley Subaru, White Bear Lake.
Waikiki, the Halekulani Hotel, a tradition of luxury. Now recreated in Hawaii's newest resort, the Waikiki Park, developed by the Halekulani Corporation. WCCO Travel and ITA now offer an exclusive vacation that features round-trip airfare to Honolulu, non-stop on a Pan Am 747, and 7 nights at the Waikiki Park. Departures every Tuesday starting January 26th through March 29th. $799. Unbelievable. Call 921-3559.
This is Auto Express, and this is our Tire Advantage. Top-line brands at bottom-line prices. You won't beat it at Sears. You won't beat it at Goodyear. You won't beat it at Crown Auto. We won't be undersold on any advertised tire we sell. Choose Michelin, General, BF Goodrich, Kelly Springfield, or Bridgestone. Plus, we install in 59 minutes or less.
Top-line brands at bottom-line prices. My summer reward.
Auto Express, we won't be undersold.
Thousands of slim, trim people ran 26 miles this morning in the Twin Cities, but we have something that would ruin the figures of each and every one of them.
Try the world's largest pizza on for size. Now it's 100 feet long, 1 inch thick. It's the concoction of Lorenzo Amato, a restaurant owner in Florida. He spent 5 hours making the record pizza. He used a cherry picker to lift the ingredients onto the pie. Now, what do you put onto such a taste treat? How about 500 gallons of sauce, 2,000 pounds of cheese, and 2,000 pounds of pepperoni? It makes 95,000 slices. That's enough to feed about 30,000 people, and lots of leftovers probably in the fridge for tomorrow.
But what about the anchovies?
Yeah, hold the anchovies, I think, for most people.
Right. An update on that game. At the bottom of the ninth, the Twins are still leading at 5-3. And an update on the weather. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 56 degrees.
I'm John Rooney. John Gordon. Harmon Killebrew. And Herb Carneal. We're bringing you the Twins Pennant Race on AM 830 WCCO Radio.